Apple just announced the pure definition of overkill with their new Mac Pro and its Pro Display XDR. They also finally listened to the community and are giving us an iPad OS to enhance the experience, and iOS 13 brings some new necessary changes along with some fun little dark mode options. I'm Jaime Rivera, and okay, this is actually the first time ever that I'm actually excited for a WWDC, up to the point where I have no problem in making a full show about it because it's actually worth it. This is Pocketnow Daily, brought to you by the OnePlus 7 Pro. Alright, everything that got announced today is official, but the amount of announcements are so complex that I'm going to try to go through them as much as I can, so just bear with me. Let's start with tvOS. Truly, I mean, this used to be Apple's hobby, now it's not, but the tvOS actually still supports Apple TVs. For those of you that thought that Apple TVs were dying, it seems that they're not. It now features a multi-user support that will work like Netflix, even if we don't have Netflix here. It also brings Xbox One S and PS4 DualShock support for games. They also previewed one of their new TV Plus shows called All Humankind, meaning Apple is getting into their own proprietary content that goes beyond weird iterations of carpool karaoke. And there are some new enhancements to things like AirPods, now with Siri being able to play back and let you respond to messages all through your AirPods instantly. And there's even dual play audio, finally, making you not need to share your AirPods. And even the HomePod now has a handoff feature from your phone, and Apple is even introducing radio integration. And even CarPlay got a new update to its dashboard UI that's now more enhanced. I mean, even Siri got its own Shortcuts app launched for iOS, finally, even if, I don't know, man, Siri, that needs major improvements. I thought I was going to see something like that. Now, watchOS 6 finally graduated to be truly its own operating system. It does depend on iPhones for certain things, but now the operating system doesn't necessarily depend on iOS fully. There's a dedicated app store now along with its own SDK. Developers will now be able to make watch apps that don't depend on the phone. There are new Apple apps like voice memos, audiobooks, and calculator, finally. There's a new health app with a complete redesign that actually serves for being more than just grabbing your data. And we have new watch faces, which are fine. Now, probably one of my favorite features has to do with activity. I love the way Apple does it, where it looks like if you're playing a game. The only problem is you still need an Apple Watch for activity to work, but it's bringing some enhancements. In addition, there's even an environmental app that will help you check the noise around you, and that's all cool. I just wish they did that for AirPods, because their audio quality may be good if they didn't overcrank it. Now let's talk about Mac OS Catalina, which, yes, the rumors are true. iTunes is dying because there was so much being crammed to this application. I loved how they portrayed it. They actually made that an irony. But yes, there is a new TV app, there is a new music app, and there's a new podcast application. Syncing devices now works through the Finder, but probably one of my favorite features is this new sidecar, which allows you to use your iPad as a second display. And not only that, but you can actually use the Apple Pencil and the iPad for sketching on your Mac, just like if you bought a separate Wacom tablet. Voice control is now reaching iOS and macOS with rich dictation and controls for the computer, which is awesome for accessibility. They also introduced the new Find My app that works just as intended, even when your Mac is off, using Bluetooth signals that are not actually going to turn on your computer fully. There's a new Photos application, reminders, and even screen time for applications, which is great to come to the Mac. Project Catalyst is pretty much the new name for Marzipan, which was the ideal of bringing iPad applications to the Mac, now making it even easier. And trust me, we haven't even begun covering the cooler stuff. So here's a quick word from our sponsor as we jump into the even hotter topics. And today's episode of the Pocketnow Daily is brought to you by the OnePlus 7 Pro. This phone has proven to be a true game changer thanks to its notchless Fluid AMOLED display at 90Hz, its new triple camera system, and its fluid software experience, all matched with a very affordable price. Follow the link in the description to learn more about what makes the OnePlus 7 Pro so cool. Now let's move the spotlight over to iOS 13, as there are two things coming, not just efficiency as we saw with iOS 12, but also some really cool new features. As for efficiency, Face ID is now 30% faster, and applications are now going to be 50% smaller when installing and 60% smaller when updating. We finally get a dark mode, though it seems to be across the board and not just optional for applications. Reminders is now getting reinvented. Maps, which you don't care about, now is also getting some enhancements. There's a new Apple login, which I really like because it avoids the whole need for you to use your Facebook login or Google login, which you can't even control if they're going to provide your personal information or not. And then there's a new Photos application that actually brings a better photo editor and even a video editor, because I'm one of those people that all the time ends up filming video by accident. In Portrait, you can now turn it into landscape. Thank you, Apple. There are some other enhancements, but these were the major ones. Now, for today, I am going to indulge myself and tell you that we've got two hottest news. For the first time ever in the Pocketnow Daily, and I am going to start with iPadOS because I've spent the last 9 years wanting this iPad to be able to be everything that it seems it now will be. In theory, I can't wait to try the beta and let you know more. Like, for example, it now brings widget support on the home screen, so no odd grid of icons, or at least not just them alone. There's a better multitasking support for every application and even support for third-party apps. Files now works with USB drives, like finally, common sense. And the whole application in Files is getting a major revamp to be able to make you share applications easier within the iPad. Safari now supports a desktop class browsing, which is what Apple said, and even includes a download manager. But the problem is that Apple wasn't really specific if this is actually going to support desktop browsing or if it's just the desktop class, but not really that. We'll keep you posted on that one. We now get new fonts and even better navigation controls, and Apple Pencil is now faster. So no macOS for iPad. I mean, Apple was clear that they weren't going to do that, but you know what? I'll take anything right now because this actually just paves the way for iPads to get better over time. And then finally, the second hot news today is the new modular Mac Pro that I'm going to call right now the Cheese Shredder. You heard it here first. I tweeted about it, so I'm going to patent that name because that's what it looks like. But you know, what matters is not the way it looks. It's actually not ugly. What matters is everything that's inside, which is the most overkill computer that I have ever seen. It supports up to 1.5 terabytes of RAM. Yes, I said terabytes. It's got its new Intel Xeon processor that supports up to 28 cores. There are a total of 8 expansion slots, which is crazy. Again, finally modularity. There's a new Afterburner card that assists for ProRes and ProRes RAW editing, meaning you can play up to 3 8K video streams at the same time, or I think it was up to 12 4K at the same time, which is crazy. There's this new MPX module that supports up to 4 GPUs. And because of this cheese shredder design, you actually don't need a fan for the GPUs. There are 3 huge fans that provide the cooling system for the whole computer. We hope that works better than the trash can Mac. And even more insane is this 6K Pro Display XDR, mainly because usually if you want to get these like reference monitors, they cost above $40,000. That was actually no exaggeration from Apple. The problem is that truly this new Pro Display is gorgeous in every way, but you know, sure, it's 6K, but it starts at $499, and then if you want the mount, it's another $1,000. And then we've got the insane price tag of the Mac Pro, which is starting at $6,000. I can't wait to like build it up and just see exactly how much the maxed out version cost. But yes, in today's question, let us know, I mean, what was your favorite announcement from WWDC 2019? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably never buy the Mac Pro. watchOS is great and iOS 13 fine, dark mode, that's all fine, that's all great. I really wanted an iPadOS. I have been wanting to use this iPad as my true computer replacement for years, and it never was that, and it became just more of an entertainment product. I feel that this is what was needed. I mean, we had Chrome OS, and I wanted to love the Pixel Slate because of that, and then it didn't deliver. So Apple, one of the things the company gets right is tablets. So now with an iPad OS, again, it's not exactly what we want, but it's paving the roadmap. Let us know in the comments down below which was your favorite announcement. Again, today was crazy. Sorry for the long video, guys, but there was just so much to cover, and I think a lot of it was worth it. Let us know in the comments down below which was your favorite. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on PocketNow.com and subscribe to both our channels, English and Spanish, for more videos like this one. You can also follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram. And sure, you can follow me as well if you want to see some weird running photos, because that's what I do. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.